In this video, I'm just going to walk through one of the most common mistakes that people make in securing their environment, which is with multi-factor authentication. Everyone thinks that they're protected and they have MFA nailed. Every time we get hold of a client, it's usually not the case. So I'm going to show you that now in a quick 2-minute video. My name is Terry Lewis, and for 20 years, I've helped organizations as big as global investment banks through to VC-backed startups and scale-ups manage their cybersecurity posture. Okay, so I'm going to use this screen in RoboShadow, which you can find here, and you can actually integrate with Azure AD Sync here. It's completely free to pull this data into RoboShadow. It just gives me a bit of a window to talk you through. So everyone in this day and age think they've got MFA enabled, but there's always lots of exceptions. The person's senior, it's a scanner or a printer, or there's always a million reasons that people have an exception. This person's traveling, can we disable MFA? So that's what I'm going to kind of walk you through in general, how to manage those nuances that come up. Some of the elements will come down to a policy decision for guests, for people that you share OneDrive, and SharePoint links with. Depending on the data they're accessing, depends on whether or not you want them to have MFA. You can set that as a policy, but that is down to you as an organization. Goes without saying, global admins should definitely have multi-factor authentication as per every user, but it separately is displayed here within RoboShadow. And one of the other tips, with the global admins is that no user, doesn't matter how senior or wonderful, should have global admin as part of their default account. It should always be an additional account that you elevate to, because if someone compromises your main account, they've got the keys to the kingdom effectively. So anyone that's got global admin has to have an elevated account. You will need this type of structure to get through things like Cyber Essentials here in the UK and sort of any other sort of compliance factors really. So where some of the nuances kick in with multi-factor authentications, you can see here, we've got some random accounts. They've got a mail account here, a shared email inbox, and it's usually printers, scanners, or meeting room kiosk PCs and stuff like that as well. There should be no excuse. So within your 365 environment, there should be a default inclusion policy that every account should have multi-factor authentication. There should be no exceptions whatsoever. However, where you have senior people that don't like MFA, or if you have meeting room setups and things like that, what you do is you create a policy, a conditional access policy that says if you're behind this IP address, so the fixed IP address of the building, then you don't need to ask for MFA. And if you are part of a device that's in Intune or a registered device effectively, you can have an exception policy to say don't ask for MFA on that particular device. And remember, the whole reason that MFA exists is for if someone phishes your account and you give away your details without knowing, then they will go and log in from a different machine somewhere and access your platform with your credentials. So it's okay for your actual laptop to have a part of the conditional access policy that says if it's a registered machine in Intune, don't ask for MFA, because there's other protections there effectively. Same for if you've got printers, scanners, or meeting room tech, that can be either behind an IP address in a conditional access policy, or that can be just registered the device with Intune to say this doesn't need to have MFA. So the accounts in general all have to have it enabled, but you can have exception policies on your actual device with things like Intune or behind an IP address just to stop that MFA for kicking in. So hopefully that's a quick overview of how to manage MFA in a way that's not going to be too destructive for users, but just ensures you have a complete inclusion policy across the whole of your tenancy. So thanks ever so much for watching.